Let's talk about something rare, something that genuinely improves lives and fosters a more inclusive society. I'm talking about a law that actually makes life better, the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA. A piece of legislation that, despite its imperfections, stands as a beacon of progress in ensuring equal opportunities for all. Passed in 1990, with bipartisan support and a clear vision for a more equitable future, its core idea is simple, yet profound. It states that if you have a disability, you deserve the same opportunities as everyone else, including keeping your job and contributing your talents to the workforce. It's about recognizing inherent worth, regardless of physical or mental limitations. To make this a reality, the ADA requires employers to provide reasonable accommodations. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a legal obligation. These accommodations can take many forms, from practical changes like special keyboards designed for ease of use, to screen readers that allow visually impaired individuals to access digital information, or even flexible schedules that accommodate medical appointments or other disability-related needs. The key word here is reasonable. The law acknowledges that the change can't bankrupt the company or create undue hardship, but it should, in good faith, help you stay productive and contribute meaningfully to the organization. It's about finding solutions that work for everyone. This law has transformed workplaces, making them more accessible and inclusive environments for people of all abilities. It's about letting talent, not physical ability or perceived limitations, shine and drive innovation. Think about the possibilities. Imagine a brilliant accountant in a wheelchair whose analytical skills are unmatched, or a deaf graphic designer with a unique visual perspective that elevates their artistry. Consider a project manager who needs a flexible schedule to manage their chronic condition, but whose organizational skills are essential to the team's success. The ADA ensures their skills aren't wasted, and that their potential is fully realized. It unlocks a wealth of talent that might otherwise be overlooked. It's a system that says, we value you, not in spite of your disability, but for the unique perspective and skills you bring to the table. And we'll make reasonable changes to keep your talent within our organization, because we recognize that your contributions are invaluable. In the civilian world, if you develop a disability, whether through illness, accident, or other circumstances, your employer must, in good faith, work with you to find a way to keep you on board, to adapt your role, or to provide the support you need to continue contributing. It's fundamentally about inclusion, about creating a workplace where everyone feels valued and respected. It's also about protecting people from being discarded when they're no longer perfect, recognizing that everyone deserves a chance to contribute, regardless of their physical or mental condition. This framework benefits both employees and employers, fostering a more loyal, engaged, and productive workforce. Now keep that in mind. Hold on to that understanding of fairness and inclusion, because we're about to look at a world where this logic, this commitment to supporting individuals, largely disappears. A world where those who risk everything for us, who put their lives on the line to protect our freedoms, often get none of these protections, none of the support that the ADA provides to civilians. In the military, the rules are very different, governed by a separate set of regulations and priorities. The people we ask to sacrifice the most, to endure unimaginable hardships and face constant danger, are often left with the least support when they return home with injuries, disabilities, or mental health challenges. The ADA's safety net, designed to catch and support individuals with disabilities, simply doesn't exist for them in the same way. Why is this the case? What are the reasons behind this disparity? Let's find out. The contrast is stark, a profound difference in how we treat those who serve and those who don't, and it matters deeply. Let's take a closer look at this discrepancy and understand the implications for our service members. Now let's shift our focus and talk about the U.S. military, an institution built on strength, discipline, and unwavering commitment. It's a world of its own, with its own set of rules and regulations, a hierarchy that demands obedience and sacrifice. It's part of the same country, bound by the same constitution, but operating by different rules, especially when it comes to its personnel. These differences, while sometimes necessary for operational effectiveness, can create stark contrasts with civilian life. When a service member is injured, whether in combat or during training, the support system they expect often takes an unexpected turn. The concept of reasonable accommodation, a standard practice in the civilian workforce, often vanishes within the military system. the focus shifts from finding ways to keep the service member contributing to the mission to assessing their limitations. Instead, they face a medical evaluation board, a panel of medical professionals who assess the extent of their injuries and their ability to continue serving. This board decides if they meet strict physical standards that are often inflexible and unforgiving. The evaluation process can be lengthy and stressful, adding to the burden of the injured service member. If not, they're often discharged, not reassigned to a role that accommodates their limitations. The emphasis is on maintaining a fighting force at peak physical condition, sometimes at the expense of individual service members. The military thanks them for their service, often with a ceremony and heartfelt words of gratitude. Then, all too often, shows them the door, leaving them to navigate the challenges of civilian life with their injuries and disabilities. This isn't just a policy difference, it's a fundamental divergence in how we treat those who have sacrificed for our country. It's a betrayal of the implicit promise made to those who volunteer to serve, a promise of unwavering support and care. We ask for everything from our service members, demanding their time, their energy, and even their lives if necessary, then discard them when they're hurt, leaving them feeling abandoned and forgotten. Civilian employers must accommodate employees with disabilities, making reasonable adjustments to ensure they can continue to contribute to the workforce. The military, with its vast resources and unparalleled infrastructure, often won't even try to find alternative roles for injured service members. It's a double standard that highlights a deep-seated problem within the military system that's both illogical and cruel, creating a sense of injustice among those who have served honorably. On one side, inclusion, a commitment to supporting individuals and valuing their contributions regardless of their limitations. On the other, exclusion, a system that prioritizes physical perfection over experience and dedication. The result? A devastating outcome for those who have given so much. Dedicated patriots lose their careers for injuries sustained in service, their dreams shattered, and their futures uncertain. It's a system that fails those who serve, leaving them feeling betrayed and disillusioned. The idea that every service member must be combat ready is outdated. The military is a massive organization with countless jobs that don't require peak physical fitness. Intelligence analysts, cybersecurity experts, logistics coordinators, lawyers, doctors, public affairs officers, the list goes on. Many roles are about brains, not brawn. A soldier who lost a leg can still be a brilliant strategist or analyst. Forcing them out wastes talent and experience. The everyone must be a warrior argument is just an excuse to avoid reassigning people. The reality, the military needs diverse skills, not just physical strength. We're losing valuable people for no good reason. It's time to rethink what service really means. Discharging injured service members from active duty is a complex process, often filled with challenges and uncertainties for those who have dedicated their lives to serving our nation. It isn't just about losing a job. It's a multifaceted loss that impacts every aspect of their lives. It's about losing identity, that sense of self that was so deeply intertwined with their military role. The uniform they wore, the values they upheld, the missions they accomplished, all contribute to a powerful sense of who they are, purpose, and community. The bonds forged in service are unlike any other, a brotherhood and sisterhood built on shared experiences, mutual trust, and unwavering support. For many, the military is a calling, a deeply felt sense of duty and a desire to protect and defend their country, and a way of life. It's a structured environment with clear expectations, a strong sense of belonging, and a defined path forward. When injury ends that career prematurely, shattering those expectations and disrupting that path, the psychological blow is immense. It can trigger feelings of grief, anger, and profound loss. Imagine building your life around service, dedicating years to honing your skills, rising through the ranks, and contributing to something larger than yourself, only to be told you're no longer needed, that your body or mind can no longer meet the demands of duty. The transition to civilian life, after years of military structure, is abrupt and often traumatic, leaving veterans feeling lost and unprepared for the challenges ahead. Financially, a medical discharge can be devastating, especially if the injury prevents them from securing comparable employment. Benefits rarely match a full military career, leaving many veterans struggling to make ends meet and provide for their families. Veterans must navigate a tough job market, often competing with younger, healthier candidates, often without civilian credentials that directly translate to the skills they acquired in the military. They face physical injuries, that can limit their ability to perform certain jobs, mental health struggles, such as PTSD and depression, that can make it difficult to concentrate, interact with others, and maintain a stable work life, and the loss of their future plans, the dreams they had for a long and fulfilling military career, now shattered. All at once, it's a perfect storm of challenges that can leave veterans feeling overwhelmed, isolated, and hopeless. We use them until they break, pushing them to their limits in defense of our nation, then push them out, often without adequate support or resources to help them rebuild their lives. The cost is measured in broken spirits, shattered dreams, and hardship, not just for the veterans themselves but also for their families who share in their struggles. It's a cruel way to treat those who've sacrificed so much, giving their all in service to our country. We can, and should, do better, providing comprehensive support and resources to help injured service members transition to civilian life with dignity and purpose. The human toll is too high to ignore, and it's our moral obligation to ensure that those who have served our nation are not left behind. The impact of discharge ripples through entire families. Military spouses often sacrifice their own careers and support networks. When a service member is discharged, the family loses community, stability, and income. Spouses may suddenly become caregivers and breadwinners. Children face abrupt moves, new schools, and the stress of seeing a parent struggle. The family's sense of security is shattered. The military encourages strong family bonds, but its policies ignore them. By failing injured troops, we fail their families too. Instability and hardship follow. Supporting service members means supporting their families. This policy isn't just cruel. It's bad for the military. Training a service member takes years and huge resources. When we discharge experienced leaders, we lose irreplaceable knowledge and skills. The military spends more to recruit and train replacements, who take years to catch up. Forcing out experts like cyber specialists or logistics pros weakens our readiness. In modern warfare, brainpower is as vital as physical strength. By clinging to outdated standards, we're draining our own talent pool. We're choosing to be weaker. A smarter military would adapt roles to keep its best people. There's hope. The #Reasonable Ranks campaign is pushing for change. Their idea is simple. Apply ADA principles to the military. Instead of defaulting to discharge, review if an injured service member can be reassigned. The military has thousands of jobs that don't require peak fitness. The goals value a person's mind, training, and loyalty, not just their body. Advocacy and outreach are building momentum. This isn't just about fairness, it's about national security. Retaining skilled personnel makes the military stronger. It's a practical, overdue solution. Listen to those who've lived this. One Army captain, a West Point grad, served multiple tours and was injured. He wanted to keep serving, instructing, strategizing, mentoring. The system said no, he was medically retired in his 30s. The hardest part wasn't the injury, he said. It was being told I was no longer useful. He had more to give, but the system wouldn't let him. His story isn't unique. Thousands have been forced out despite their skills and dedication. These aren't statistics, they're patriots who wanted to serve. Their voices demand change. We're wasting talent and breaking trust. The path forward is clear. Align military policy with our national values of fairness and decency. End the double standard. Treat injured service members as assets, not liabilities. Congress and the Department of Defense must require real efforts to reassign, not just discharge. Shift from up or out to retain and repurpose. Set job-specific physical standards. Don't force cyber experts to run marathons. This isn't lowering standards, it's applying the right ones. The public must demand better for those who serve. We owe our service members more than a thank you. We owe them dignity and opportunity. When they're injured, we must not abandon them. It's time for fairness, duty, and real change.